How's your work-life balance? I've probably asked that question to thousands of people. I'm an expert in the area. And what people usually tell me is, I can't find my work-life balance. I keep searching for it and I can't find it. I've never had anybody say to me in answer to that question, fabulous. I love my work-life balance. No, people are always searching and no one can find it. So I'm here to tell you that work-life balance is really a myth. It's this elusive goal that we've been taught to search for, and really nobody can find it. I'm Dr. Ellen Ettinger, and I'm going to give you 10 tips today to find what people are usually looking for, which is peace to cut down the stress in our lives, a sense of control again in our lives, success, and happiness. That's really what most people are looking for when they say balance. So let's talk a little bit first about why work-life balance doesn't solve our needs. And then I'm going to give you those 10 tips. So when we talk about work-life balance, when we talk about balance, it's usually a scale. We're weighting one thing against the other. And in this case, it's work and life. And what we usually are weighing and comparing is time. How many hours am I working versus how many hours do I spend at home? And people always are frequently looking for, what's the formula? How many hours should I be working? How many hours should I be at home to have that perfect balance? And there are a number of reasons why the absolute scale of time doesn't work. But I'll give you one example first. Let's say you work for 3 hours. You have a 3-hour work block. And let's say you're really unfocused and distracted. You have so much on your mind. You're worrying, how am I going to get this project done? And you're thinking about what's going on with your kids at home and what you have to do later when you get home. Well, the results of that 3-hour block are likely going to be very limited. Your outcome, your productivity is going to be limited because you really have a lot going on your mind. Let's assume you have 1 hour as a block of time, but you're totally focused. You're not distracted. You're very organized and you're really getting a lot done. In 1 hour of focused time, you may get more done, more results than in 3 hours of unfocused, distracted time. So again, absolute time isn't really a great measuring stick to tell us what we need to do or to guide us towards getting happiness. And again, when you're doing that balance, that comparison of one against the other, you're setting work and home up as competition. So if you think, well, next week I'm going to work a couple of extra hours, then you're thinking, well, oh, that takes away from my time at home. And some people might even think, oh, if I work more, I'm a bad mother. But our work doesn't make us a bad parent at all. In fact, sometimes our work is our passion. It makes us stronger. It allows us to bring money home to take care of our family. And it keeps many of us fulfilled and feeling a sense of accomplishment and achievement. So again, for many reasons, time, absolute time, is not a good measuring stick. Again, when you put one against the other, you're setting them up in competition. And it's really a trade-off then. Everything I do for work means I'm doing less for home, which is really not realistic or true, because the happier you are at work, the more productive, the more you get things done, the less you bring home to worry about. So again, there are many factors involved, and pure time is not the measuring stick. Also, in work-life balance, we're talking about work versus life. And work is an important part of our life. Most of us work many hours in our life. So plotting work against life is really unrealistic. It doesn't help us. Why do people talk about work-life balance? And I think that work-life balance came because we're so busy and stressed with so many responsibilities in our lives with work and raising our children, taking care of our home, taking care of our family, paying attention to our work. There's so much on our plate, so much on our minds, so much stress. And so when you think about it, you might feel, well, I have so much going on in my life, so many responsibilities. I'm really worried I'm going to fall off balance. And that's kind of where the balance word may come in. But again, balance itself, when you isolate time, doesn't give us a solution or a meter or a metric to solve the problem. And again, when I work with my clients, and I work with a lot of mothers, a lot of parents and families, when I talk to them about this, I always say it's not work against your home life. You don't want to pit them against each other. You want to feel successful in both. So your strategies should be really to support both, not a trade-off of one against the other, but supportive for both. It's got to be a win-win situation for both. And I help the parents and mothers and families that I work with identify and implement strategies, again, to support both for success, not one against the other, not balancing them, but elevating both of them and helping support you for success in both. And again, I think it's really important to do that. So in reality, it's not about balance. So if it's not about balance, what is it about? Well, let's start talking about those 10 tips. It's about building success in both work and home. Just like I mentioned, it's not a trade-off, it's not a competition, it's a win-win. And so that's what I say to do, to really work for success in both. That's what to do. And I'm going to be talking a lot about how to do that as we go forward. And the next tip on my list is, it's about number 2, it's about implementing strategies, processes, methods, and plans to support your success in both areas, at work and home. So again, if you want to be successful in both, I want to give you strategies to support you and help elevate your accomplishments and achievements in both areas. Mothers and parents who are successful and happy at home and work don't walk around and say that motherhood is easy. They're the ones who have strategies and methods and processes and plans in place to support them and their families and their work. So they know that motherhood is challenging. They're just handling the challenges with helpful strategies. And again, I'm going to try to suggest and help you figure out some ideas and strategies that you can use. The parents that I work with, I give them specific strategies that are personalized for their situation. So let's talk about number 3 on our big list of tips. And that is, we've been saying it's not about balance. Number 3, it's about goal setting and goal reaching. We want to talk about creating specific, detailed goals to help support your wants, your desires at work and at home. Now, most people, when we talk about goals, stress goal setting. And once they have their goals in mind, they say, well, I'm going to set out and I want this to happen. And often they fall into a trap. How do I do this? So when I talk to my clients, I say we want to prioritize goal setting and goal reaching. When we set goals, we always set action steps and plans for how we're going to meet the goals. Because again, what's most important is not setting the goals, it's reaching them. So I want to bring my clients not just to the ideas, but to the solutions. So let's move ahead to number 4. It's not about balance, it's about cutting stress. So we live with a lot of stress in our lives. Again, we're so busy. We're taking care of our kids and our family and our home and work, and often doing things in our community as well. So we have so many roles and so many responsibilities, and we feel crowded and overscheduled and overcommitted. And when you approach life passively and you just let all of this happen to you, that's when life feels overscheduled and overcommitted. So, and a lot of people just assume motherhood has to be stressful. That's just the way it is. And that really makes me very sad, because it's only that way if you don't have strategies to help deal with the challenges and help eliminate the stress. So you don't have to live that way. All you need are the right strategies to help deal with the challenges and the stress. So let's move on to number 5. It's not about balance. It's about self-care. And it's about me time. Me time is very important. Many mothers feel guilty about taking time for themselves, and they even deprioritize me time. So if something comes up on their calendar and they were planning to do something for themselves, they'll demote their own time, their own activities to take care of something at work or something for their family or something at home. And I say, keep it on your calendar as if you were doing something for a friend or a client that you work with, or a customer, depending on what you do at work. And don't demote your own needs. I like to tell the mothers that I work with, a strong, relaxed mother can lead a strong, relaxed family. And when you're stressed and living with stress, you're not role modeling to your kids how to deal with challenges. You're really role modeling stress. And even if you think they don't notice, they do. And they're not learning strategies for handling a busy life and challenges. So learning how to use and keep me time and self-care is really important for you, but it's an important lesson for your kids as well. So let's move on to number 6. It's not about balance, but it's about maintaining our identity. So to feel balance, we really need to feel peace in our lives and feel like we have a sense of control, that we can go after our passions, that we can go after the goals that we've set for ourselves. So many mothers and parents I talk to feel that they're so used to advocating for their kids and families and work, that they've actually lost a sense of what gives them passion, what's important to them, who they are. Mothers sometimes say, I don't even know who I am anymore. I've lost track of who I am. So we need to maintain our identity and a perspective of who we are, what makes us happy, what makes us feel filled and happy and energetic. And without this, we're really on the path for exhaustion and burnout, often resentment and dissatisfaction. We really need a clear sense. What are our passions? What's your passion? What makes you happy? What makes you feel relaxed and rested and energized? So if we don't have a sense of our identity, then we don't have a sense of balance or peace or the other qualities I've discussed as well. So that is number 6. Let's move on to number 7. So we're talking about how it's not about balance. And number 7 is it's also not about perfection. So if you didn't get to dust your counter or wash the car, or you fill in something that you might have missed, it's not necessary to panic or to aim for perfection. Efficient people don't look for perfection. They look for results and priorities and what's important. And again, it's essential to keep your eyes on what's important, but not on perfection for every little detail. Sometimes we need to give ourselves grace and let the little things loose, let the little things a little bit loose, and hold fast to what's important. Keep your eye on the priorities. So let's move on to number 8. It's not about balance. It's not essentially about time. Number 8, it's about asking for help in your family. So if mom is always the one who sets the table for dinner, cooks dinner, clears the table after dinner, loads the laundry, folds the laundry, does the grocery shopping and more, then that doesn't leave her much time to spend time with the kids or play with the family or for fun time or me time. And I talk a lot about building a family culture where everyone wants to be part of the family team and everybody participates in age-appropriate activities to help in the family. And there are cultures where kids are excited and they love participating and doing activities that really are their share. In our culture in America, we talk about a lot about giving kids chores, and kids are often resentful, and we have to nag them and negotiate and wait and oversee that these chores are done. And I think it's so much more helpful and useful to work to build a family culture where kids understand their place as a team member and can really do age-appropriate activities that they're excited about. I've done videos in my channel on creating family meetings and on getting kids to help. So I'm mentioning number 8 briefly, but if you'd like to know more about that topic, you might want to look at some of my other videos that are related to this area, like creating family meetings where you can build a family culture, or my videos on getting kids to help around the house. And that's number 8, and that brings us to number 9. So in number 8, we talked about reaching out in your family and your house. And number 9 is it's about asking for help and reaching out beyond your home. So you don't have to create solutions and find strategies and processes for every problem. There are many solutions out there for every problem. You need to be an expert in your work and in loving your family and caring for your family. But you can come here to learn strategies. There are many places where you can learn strategies and processes that are helpful to be effective in all the activities you do to reduce stress, to maintain your identity, to carry out all of the tips that I've been talking about. And certainly, if you'd like to reach out to me to help you, I'd be happy to have a discussion with you to help you. And again, if this is important to you and you're listening to this video, congratulations, you've taken a first step towards solving your problems. And again, if you'd like to fast track and get solutions for your particular issues, feel free to schedule an appointment with me. That is what I do. So I am told that I'm helpful in helping people implement strategies to help themselves and their families and their work, and to build that win-win situation for all that you're involved with. So again, we talked about reaching out for those solutions. And tip number 10, it's important to have an action plan with goals and strategies and processes and plans in place so that you know that you're supportive and you're in the process of that win-win. Again, we don't want to live life passively and just accept challenges without solutions. And many of the solutions are designed and implemented specifically for particular individuals and their families and their work. So it's hard to generalize and give you general strategies when they're usually more specific and particular for each person and their family. But I've been trying, and I do try to give you general ideas. Again, if you'd like those more specific strategies and ways to implement them, that is why I come here to let you know about them. And you should feel free to reach out to me. I do leave my calendar link around because I really am very dedicated to helping parents elevate life for themselves and their family and to build that win-win success model. So again, work-life balance, it really doesn't work for most people. You're really searching for an elusive goal. But following my 10 tips can really help you find what we really are looking for, which for most people is peace and reclaiming a sense of control and building for success and happiness in our lives. So I'm going to be talking a lot more about work-life balance in other videos I'll be doing as well. So if this is a topic that's interesting to you, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you'll know when I come out with more videos. Please hit the like button, thumbs up, so that people will know that this is useful. And again, every week I post a new video, so make sure you come back next week for our next video. And again, until then, be empowered and let's talk again soon.